3, 2, 1. The Reality Check podcast is inbound. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Please be advised this video may contain strong language and adult themes.
Hello guys, and welcome to my brand new show, the Reality Check podcast. Now today is the launch of the show, first ever episode. Just to give you a little background into the show. So I'm going to have a special guest on the show every week from either the world of reality TV or sports stars. And today our first guest comes from the reality TV category, from the newest series of Love Island, Mr. Ollie Williams. Ollie, how are you doing?
Very well, guys. How are you doing? Very
good, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on. Obviously we're just going to have a quick chat about a lot of things, really, kind of the situation that's going on in the whole world at the moment, your background in reality TV, all the juicy gossip you can give me, and then a bit more about you in terms of hobbies, that kind of stuff. So what we'll do,
of course.
Firstly, it's quite fitting to talk about the environment at the moment. With this lockdown thing, how are you finding everything?
Well, it goes without saying. Firstly, we're not actually talking to each other face to face. We're actually on Zoom, which is obviously a weird one. But I guess it's just adapting. Like it's just going into its second period of 3 weeks now. So it's going to be 6 weeks, and we're 3 weeks in. It's just the first couple of weeks were quite difficult, but then you sort of adjust to it, don't you? You sort of get used to your new routines, and it's not ideal. But I certainly never take restaurants and pubs for granted again. That's for
definitely
sure.
Missing the nights out for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you? So what kind of stuff are you getting up to pass the time? How are you keeping busy?
To be honest with you, I'm trying to get a YouTube channel going. So sort of field sports YouTube channel going, but it's honestly a bit of everything. Like the other day, a mate of mine dropped over a few chicken eggs, and he said that he had a rooster, so they'd be fertile. So I bought an incubator and incubated them all, and 3 weeks later, the all chicks popped out of them. So
ideal. That's
pretty funny. But so that's pretty much. I'm just random stuff like that, building like proper random crap around the place, but just trying to pass the time wherever I can. Obviously, going to the gym. I'm lucky enough I've got a gym at home, so that's definitely helped. But I feel sorry for those guys who were struggling with lifting 5 kilogram dumbbell in every different way possible. You know what I mean? So
they're trying to mix it up, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Obviously, a lot of I'd say the majority of your followers now on social media will obviously know you from Love Island. So I feel like that's going to be the main topic of discussion today.
Yeah, of course.
Taking it back to the start, what was your reason? Did you apply, or did you get kind of headhunted? How did that work?
Oh, you get approached. I got approached to apply. So I think they were trying to push for more of a. They didn't want to say we just headhunted them. They wanted the people to sort of apply, but you were sort of encouraged to.
Okay.
So it went down that route, and then the application process is you go to that sort of first. Your application gets successful, which I knew mine would be.
Yeah.
You go into a phone call, and you get a phone call back, and then if they like you over the phone, they invite you back for a face-to-face interview in London.
Okay.
So they sort of travel you up and pay for all your expenses on the way up there, and it's quite. From the very beginning, they treat you like a bit of a celebrity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you feel like you're being really well looked after and everything, which you are, I suppose. And but I was getting the train up from down here in Cornwall, so it was a bit of a trek. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then that's that first interview, and I knew that mine was probably successful because I met all the main producers in the first thing. So I thought, they're probably going to fast track me here.
Yeah.
And then it was just like one step after another, and the next thing you do is a medical.
Yeah.
Which I actually failed.
Okay. On what?
I failed the drugs test.
Okay. So how did that happen?
It wasn't like recreational or anything like that. They thought I was on steroids.
Right. Okay.
They were like, "You're a big bloke. We need to test you for steroids." And I was like, "Well, I can. I played pretty high level rugby my whole life, so I can't.
Yeah.
I could never have taken it even if I wanted to."
Yeah.
And they came back and they were like, "Yeah, you failed the test." And I was like, "How does that work?"
I bet that was a bit of a shock.
My testosterone levels were higher than normal.
Right.
Which indicates in the past you've taken some sort of steroid, which
I
never had. I'm almost just like have high testosterone levels naturally, I guess. But they then did a proper test to actually look for the steroid itself.
Okay.
And then that proved obviously my innocence. But it was that first sort of like, "Oh mate, you failed the drug test."
Yeah, right.
Like, what for? You know what I mean?
It must have been a bit of a shock.
So it was like, it was. And after that, I knew that because the doctor they're obviously very secretive about who they're going to cast.
Yeah.
The doctor, obviously, he was sort of an external contracted doctor, sort of turned around to me and was like, "Yeah, they really like you." So they've never ever had someone back for a second test before.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, maybe this probably is going to go somewhere then. So at that point, I started planning for me to actually go on the show.
Is that where did your gym regime, did it up a level?
Well, you know me pretty well. I've always gymmed quite hard.
Yeah.
But I definitely did. I checked. What I did do is change my diet. I actually tried for the first time. Tried no carbs.
Okay.
Leaned me out, got crazy.
Really?
And it was bonkers. Yeah. So definitely, I lost about stone.
Okay.
But I mean, honestly, probably lost a stone in muscle as well. But
yeah.
I leaned out properly, because I had a bit of a rugby rig before.
Yeah.
And then it was just sort of getting the toning up and
just tone up and look a bit leaner.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I suppose you're going to be on TV. That's going to people are going to remember that for a long time.
Yeah.
So you look your best. You know what I mean?
100%. Okay, and then what happened? I mean, was there a gap before they told you, like, when you got told you were definitely going to be on the show? What happened after that?
Basically, what happened is my second drug test was in about, I'd say late October.
Okay.
And then the last week in November, I got a phone call saying you're in, and you're in the line. And the guy rang me up. The boss of the show rang me up.
Yeah.
Lewis, and he said he did like a Simon Cowell moment. He was like, "It's really bad news, mate."
Did he?
He says, "Yeah, I haven't got great news, mate." No, he said, "I haven't got good news. It's great news." And I was like, "What? You're in the lineup for the show?" I was like, "What?" I was in the gym, and he was like, calm down, because people are going to think you had a kid or something." And honestly, I was like, "This is crazy." Like, I couldn't really comprehend what was happening.
Yeah, definitely. I bet it was
I never really thought it happened. I didn't really, because I've never watched the show, so then I was like, fuck, I now better watch a bit of the show.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty mad. I mean, when it came out in the press, obviously, I think was it a week or two before it comes out in the press saying who's going to be on it? And I mean, obviously, we went to school together, so seeing like someone from Cornwall, I mean, I think are you the second? Is it you and Lucy? Lucy from the series before?
Yeah, Lucy,
she's from Cornwall. Well. So I think, obviously, it's pretty rare for someone like in our area to kind of get on such a big like national show. Like it's watched by
international as well.
Yeah, literally watched by like basically everyone our age in the country watches it.
It's mad.
So to get on a show like that, it was pretty big news at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was the hardest thing was, I mean, I told, you're not supposed to tell anyone really, your mum and dad, but obviously told a few close mates, like, Noah. I told Noah.
Yeah.
And because he was managing my Instagram.
Okay.
I mean, fucking serious job he had in the end, but yeah, he was managing my social media, so I told him, and then he inevitably probably told a couple of other people.
Yeah.
And it was just like, if the show had found out I told anybody, or it got into the press and my name got leaked, then they'd scrap it.
Really?
Otherwise, then you can start doing deals with people.
Yeah, I guess, before you go in.
Yeah, so it's got to be secret.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So that was quite a bit of a nervous thing, but then obviously it all happened. And then I then went for my sort of all the promo shoots and everything, like the stuff you get in the tube and stuff, and all that.
Yeah.
All the posters and everything.
All those famous gifts you had.
Yeah, mate, that's cool, isn't it? I'm now a gift.
Cool. Yeah, they're pretty cool, to be fair. So, I mean, obviously, after all that happened, I assume they then give you the start date and stuff. And then, so what happened? Do they just fly you out?
Yeah, literally, I got a week before, New Year, I got a call from saying, right, this is your flight details, and text my flight details through and everything. And they trained me up to Heathrow. I stayed in a hotel overnight at Heathrow, met with a chaperone.
Yep.
He then took my phone, took all my laptop and everything.
And that's you done? Like, in terms of like social media, you're out?
So literally, as you land in South Africa, they took my phone. You're then in a house or like a hotel. We had a little apartment.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. We got the expenses card that we could basically, was pretty much unlimited. So
nice.
Eating out, you name it, and just sit. The only thing we couldn't do, which I was really annoyed by, was, did you go on tour to South Africa?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so you know Table Mountain, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, guy, I've never been up Table Mountain. Well, we've got up Table Mountain. He goes, oh no, we can't do that. I'm like, why? Because production says it's too dangerous. I'm like, dude, it's the cable car, and then back.
I literally did that when I was like 15 years old.
Yeah, literally. So, well, did you walk up it? Did Whitmore make you walk up it?
No, I think no. We got in the cart.
Yeah, so Whitmore made us walk up it.
Nice.
You're like, right, boys, it's good training, and he goes, fucking.
That was our scary rugby coach. For those of you who are unaware.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Whitmore, Sarge, absolute legend. No, so yeah, but I mean, they basically wouldn't let us do it because it seemed too dangerous. But oh well. So we did other stuff, like we went to the beach and It was quite cool. We were on one of the beaches. They red flagged it or black flagged it.
Okay.
The shark flag. There's a great white came.
Really?
Yeah, mate. I mean, the sea was cold.
Yeah.
It's probably, I'd say, the warmest it gets in Cornwall. I'd say that's what it was like.
Okay. So not too bad, but pretty chilly still.
Yeah. Because either side of Cape Town, the sea's completely different temperatures.
Okay. So
different seas.
When you were doing all that stuff before the show started, you hadn't met any of the contestants or anything like
that? So all the chaperones were on WhatsApp, and they'd tell each other where we were going, so we wouldn't bump into each other.
Yeah.
Think it's not possible. Everyone obviously wants to gym.
Yeah.
So we all had to go to different gyms at different times.
Oh, okay.
The chaperones are quite a big job.
Yeah.
And at one point, we almost bumped into someone else. I think I almost bumped into Sophie in the airport.
Yeah.
Because my chaperone was like, we have to wait here, and we have to go to the back of the queue in the passport queue, which
Okay.
is so long.
Yeah.
We literally right at the front, been queuing for 45 minutes. It was Ollie. We have to go to the back again.
Really?
Because they're right in front of us, and I was like, fine.
Annoying. Okay. So obviously the day comes, you go into the villa. What was your first impressions?
Well, I'll be honest with you, it was the scariest fucking moment of my life.
I bet you were.
Oh my god, it was. I can't even describe how it wasn't like fear. It was just like I was so nervous. It was like I can't. It was just because you're walking out in front of basically millions of people.
Yeah.
And basically, of course, no one stood forward for me, so I looked like a fucking mug. And obviously, all those girls in front of you. And then, have you seen Black Mirror?
I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you know, it's like really weird, like ideas.
Yeah.
When I walked out, mate, I felt like an episode of Black Mirror because you walk out and Laura Whitmore stood there, but obviously she's being told to say stuff in her ear.
Yeah.
So she's like, she'd ask him like, so Ollie, how are you? And I'm like, I am really good, thanks. You know, really excited, and like I was shitting myself.
Yeah.
A bit nervous, and she'd be like, and pause to like get the next line. I'd be like,
what are you gonna say?
And I'd be like, and I looked, and all the girls were laughing at me. I was like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, right.
And anyway, it was all right, but it was proper scary, mate.
Yeah, I bet.
This is real. I mean, the realest moment before that was when I got my suitcase.
Yeah, okay. Because you all get the same ones, don't you?
Yeah, you'll get like those white ones with your name on.
With your name on, yeah.
And obviously the old bottles.
Oh, you still got it?
Yeah.
They're pretty cool to be. They're like iconic, aren't they?
Still works. Anyway, so yeah, no, it was a bloody strange experience, I must admit. But you walk into the villa because you obviously go through the girls' dressing room to walk out.
Yeah. And
it was like it felt like I was in some sort of like Love Island theme park.
Right. Okay.
Like Love Island experience.
Real. Yeah.
Like, no, this is actually Love Island.
How nice was the villa?
Mate, it was lovely. It really was. It was actually probably triple the size what you saw.
Really? Because see, there was a lot of walking down to get to different levels of it. Like from the TV, it looks huge.
There's a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
It was all on a hill, but say there was 2/3 of it were taken up by production.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there was so much behind the sort of the scenes, if you like, than you actually saw. In essence, the living area where we had wasn't huge.
Okay.
It looked bigger than it was. Like, it wasn't massive. But if we'd had running the whole villa, it would have been too much. You know, you wouldn't have been able to...
Yeah, you could get lost.
No, big time. Yeah, so...
Okay, I mean, obviously, so initially, like you said, sadly for yourself, no one stepped forward. So you ended up with the eventual winner, Paige, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, I mean, she was a lovely girl, really lovely. And obviously, we were like... So we started to hit it off and everything, but that was the point where... I don't want to jump forward too much. If you stop me if I am, but that was a point where, you know, I started feeling, maybe this isn't the right thing.
Yeah.
But we'll go on to that, I'm sure.
Yeah. I
don't want to jump forward.
Nah, that's fine. Okay. I mean, so in terms of there's obviously I know you. So day 4 you left, wasn't day 4? So you were in there for 4 days. You had 4 full days. I mean, what's it actually like? Because I know people could be like, you can't get to know people that quickly. Surely people are there like saying that they've fallen in love or whatever. And people are like, how can you fall in love after like 2-3 weeks? But I mean, you're with the people in one house for 24 hours a day, aren't you? I mean, what's that like?
It is. I mean, like I was in there for just over 5 days, and I forged relationships with people that you never like. You think you know them for like 3-4 years. It's just, definitely, because it's so intense. You're literally living with them.
Yeah,
like you've got nothing. And the thing is, you can't be like. You can't just, sit there and just in the middle of conference just start looking at your phone. You've got no phone, no books, literally nothing other than to talk to one another.
Yeah.
And they do encourage you to the producers, obviously, that they have producers that move around during the day and stuff, and they sort of encourage you to talk about different things. And
yeah, because obviously people say that they're like some of it's scripted. I mean, I don't think any of it's scripted, but I can imagine that they tell you to talk about certain topics, and obviously they want you to talk about like relationships and stuff.
At the end of the day, we're enough to. They call it like there's two different types of chat. Like there's like, for example, when we're having dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't want us, because they don't film dinner. They don't want us talking about like parts of like the storyline.
Okay.
Or like our storyline. So they're not stories, but like we're creating a story that they don't make into an episode.
Yeah, definitely.
So if we're there, so if I'm with Paige having like a really deep conversation over like dinner.
Yeah. Which
they don't film, they're going to be like, Ollie, shut up.
Yeah. Talk about that later on.
Talk about yeah, exactly. And that's why it's literally, they call it shit chat.
Okay.
So right, Islanders, shit chat now for the next hour.
Talk about what you want.
Yeah.
Is that where would you talk about like the outside world and like stuff that doesn't get shown on TV?
Yeah, the application process, like how you got like scouted, like stuff that they don't really want to show.
Yeah.
You can talk about the outside world, because that also is, getting to know one another. That's kind of good chat.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just like so we'll look at the weather, football and shit like that. Like,
yeah. Okay, and I mean,
like,
obviously, when you're in there, like you said, you're cut off completely to any news or anything like that.
Yes, yeah.
So does that obviously, like I said, we'll get into that bit in a bit, because there was a lot of news about yourself. It
was.
I mean, how did you find that, like the whole situation with no social media, no phone, being cut off to the outside world?
I'm not massively bothered by it. I'm not like addicted to my phone per se.
Okay.
I'm more so now. I've come out, and I've obviously like a lot more of my life revolves around social media.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm not like, I didn't really miss it. Like because you've got to bear in mind, you've already had that week before.
Yeah.
Have it, so that sort of weaned you off anyway, and then that's the tough week, because you can get bored. Like I read a lot, and that was pretty much all I did. But obviously, you can't see any of the news because you're all over the news.
Yeah, right. But that's weird.
It is, like the best thing was my chaperone. He went into like DEFCON 1 one evening. We were watching like a Netflix series, and he was like looking. He was like, "What are you watching this on?" I was like, "Netflix." He goes, "You sure there's no news?" And I was like, "Why?" And I was like, it's just been the press release, hasn't it? And he was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, it's because you're fucking 50."
Yeah, right.
So anyway, that was quite funny. And then it was just like, shit, I'm now like everyone at home knows.
Yeah.
Because all I wanted to do was tell everyone that I was going to be on it, but obviously I couldn't. And now everyone at home knew. And it was quite nice to come back to, obviously the messages, like support from everyone, like saying good luck and stuff on their stories, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, but that was pretty weird.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's surreal, because there's a lot of people that make contact with you that you necessarily haven't spoken to in absolutely fucking ages.
Is there also a part of you that's like, you're only trying to speak to me now because I've got a bit of clout, like
so much. There's so much of that. Like it's so obvious as well. The people who are like that.
People who like saying how much, mate, like could be like, "Oh, Ollie's a twat," and then suddenly you get a bit of fucking fame behind you, and they're like, "Oh, how are you, mate? Haven't spoken to you in ages."
Oh, mate, big time. Literally.
Yeah, I bet.
Even obviously with all this press trying to tear me to shreds and everything, they were like, "Oh, mate, we're here for you," and I'm like, "Dude, you were never."
No, you're not. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. I mean, staying on the Love Island theme, we've got a little game to kind of play, a little quiz. Basically, what I'm going to do is give you a few words or a little phrase, and I want you to give me the Islander you were in the villa with that is the best match to the word. All right?
Okay. Do I have to say it straight away, or can I have like a couple of seconds?
You can have a little think. So, out of the people you were in there with, who was the funniest?
Connor.
OG Connor.
OG Connor, yeah. Connor with the good teeth.
Just like banter.
I don't know, like, to be honest, it's close between him and Callum. Like, I was closest with probably those two, and Mike to an extent. Like, but they were just so funny. Like, we just look at each other and just laugh for no reason.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing. And you just make up random scenarios, and it was just fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who's the laziest? Who was the last out of bed in the morning?
Probably Paige.
What, she'd be like, is she not a morning person?
I don't know. No, definitely not, mate. Well, to be honest, I don't think she was any kind of day person when I was with her. But no, it's not. Yeah, probably Paige was quite sort of quiet in the morning, I'd say. Took
her a bit of time to get out of her morning head.
Yes, quite right. Yeah.
Okay, who was the craziest? Like, who was the most bonkers?
Oh, it's probably Naz.
Naz, okay.
he was always just laughing, like just ripping the shit out of everything, like constantly laughing.
He
like, he's laughing over nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he came across as a pretty funny like character.
He is jokes, man. He was jokes, but he was probably like, when it came to girls, he was probably like too friendly.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of that, wasn't there? He kind of had the tough start of, I don't want to say like essentially being friend zoned by a few of the girls.
Yeah, by Shanice,
yeah, by Shanice mainly. But I think he kind of came out of his shell a bit more kind of after Casa Amor, didn't he? So
yes, he did. Yeah,
there was a bit. I think his kind of popularity, I would say popularity, maybe decreased after, because there was a lot of people pushing for him and Demi, wasn't there? Because that was, I think Demi came in and was the first girl, was like proper into him.
Yeah.
And then when he went to Casa Amor and came back with the new girl, I think maybe
Eva.
Yeah, Eva. I think people maybe. Well, not disliked him, but maybe his chances of winning potentially maybe.
Well, yeah, of course. All the public want is a true love story, don't they? Innit? If you go off and hook up with some, as far as the public are concerned, random bird.
Yeah.
It's gonna damage your reputation. So
I think that was similar to Callum's, wasn't it, when he left Shauna? Because I think everyone was behind Callum and Shauna. Everyone was like, they're gonna win, and then he went and obviously found Molly.
Yeah, well, that's just he's been real. Like, and I spoke to him obviously, and he was just like, "Well, at the end of the day, mate, we always said we're not going to be fake and just try and win the game." People this year, there was no real game players this year. I didn't think.
Okay.
The only game players that potentially there were towards the end were probably Demi and Luke.
Yeah, Luke M. Okay. Why do you reckon that? Why do you think that?
I don't know, just because they probably will be together, but they were like making it really greasing up and really really like, turn the screw just because it was coming to the end of the show.
So you reckon?
I said whoever Paige, I said from the moment I left, whoever Paige ends up with, she'll win.
Yeah.
Because she's such a cool girl and she's genuine. Like she tells you how it is. Like she doesn't give you any.
Yeah, definitely. So you think maybe like Luke and Demi might have been just a bit like over the top because they knew at what kind of stage the show was at.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, fair enough. Moving on. Obviously in the evenings you get the whole session where everyone gets glammed up for the night out. I mean, you're not going anywhere, but you get dressed up. Who had the best and the worst fashion sense?
I think best and worst combined was Connor OG, 100%.
Okay. So some nights superb.
Everyone was like, I was looking at some of the stuff he was wearing. I was like, what are you wearing? Everyone would be like, oh my God, this is incredible. So I'm like, maybe I'm just sort of not on the same vibe as everybody else.
Yeah.
I was just there with a jeans and t-shirt. Like,
yeah. I mean, you get a lot of them that like go with the skinny white jeans rolled up a little bit, like ankles on show, loafers. That's not you, is it?
Not really. No. I'm all about just shorts and a fucking linen shirt. That'll do me, especially when it's like 30 degrees.
Yeah, right.
But,
I bet it was hot.
It was so cold at night.
Was it?
Yeah. And the other thing is, what you don't realise is the night out. Like when everyone walks out for the night out for the one drink or the couple of drinks, or whatever. That is literally like normally early hours.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, mate, it's crazy.
Okay. Because obviously that's the kind of stuff we don't see. Like, they say that, do they like, there was a few times I've read a few articles about people saying how they've had to like refilm scenes or replay the games. Does that happen much?
Yeah, I mean, we had to redo it a couple times. Yeah, we had to do it. I mean, like when the twins came in, they had to walk down the stairs 3 times.
Really? Okay. So which what? And they show? Did you just have to act?
Well, it's just editing, you know. Because they normally get the original reaction.
Yeah.
But they want to get like the twins making the best of their how they look and everything. So if they're, I don't know, their fucking tit fell out or something, they'd have to do it again. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just TV, isn't it? You just gotta get the best possible shot they can get. So
yeah, definitely.
Of course, they might have to redo stuff sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, obviously, you touched on the food situation earlier in terms of, so you get dinner cooked for you, but I mean, do you cook your own food? One of the questions I was going to say, who's the best and the worst cook? I mean, did you have to make your own meals or?
The breakfast you make and lunch you sort of make. Breakfast you make, lunch and dinner is provided.
Okay.
So you get, obviously all the food's provided, but you like cook your own breakfast. Like I normally we just had poached eggs, the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Poached eggs, like avocados.
Was there anyone who like just terrible at cooking, like couldn't cook an egg?
Yeah, someone. I can't remember who it was. Someone literally couldn't even cook beans.
I bet you're there like, what are you doing?
Yeah, mate. Callum was a good cook.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he really was.
Okay. And finally, on this little one, it's a bit of a controversial one. Who did you find the most annoying in the villa? Who rubbed you up the wrong way sometimes?
Probably Naz.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What, just in
Oh no, actually no. Closely followed by the twins.
Why?
Why not? Mate, come on, really? I mean, like, they're lovely girls, but they're just, you couldn't really have a conversation with them, could you?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I get what you mean. Okay.
Without being too rude.
Without being too harsh. Okay. Yeah. We'll leave that at that. I mean, obviously, branching away slightly from Love Island, I know one of your other big hobbies and interests is the world of horse racing. Obviously, this podcast is going to be split between reality and sports. So the fact you've got the kind of eye in for the horse racing as well is definitely of interest. So how did that come about? How did you get into it all?
Well, to be honest with you, I got into it. My family have owned horses for almost 50 years now.
Okay.
So we've owned everything. National Hunt. My grandmother's a Derby winner.
Okay.
So we've been pretty lucky over the years. We're now currently down to solely National Hunt. So,
okay.
Which is pretty much how I got into it, and obviously just the interest has spawned, and but certainly over the last 5 or 6 years, I've taken much more of an interest in really studying form, and
because you've got your own tips account, haven't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I mean, every time I murmur the idea of becoming a professional gambler, my mum absolutely shits chicken.
Yeah.
So, because I am getting to the point where I'm making enough to sort of, essentially live off gambling, but it's a dangerous thing to sort of
100% a dodgy game.
You start falling to full time, you know what I mean? But
definitely. I mean, so
with horse racing, it's not like casino gambling where it's just numbers. You're betting on a living, breathing animal, which something. I get emotionally attached to animals.
Yeah.
In respect, in terms of, I love a horse. So, for example, your big name horse. I love a Nabel. Absolutely love an incredible horse. I love watching her run.
Yeah.
I very rarely bet on her because the odds are normally
too good, isn't she?
The only time I did bet on her was in the Arc when she lost. But but it's that sort of thing. So I love it. It's not just it's money, but I also love racing. So
it is a quality sport. I mean, so in terms of your involvement in it, I mean, what are some big names you've been involved in terms of horse racing? Who's like the most famous person in the horse racing industry you've met?
Frankie Dettori, probably the most famous.
Nice.
I met Frankie, met John Gosden, two big names, and obviously Paul is a very good friend of ours because he trains all of Dad's horses.
What's Frankie Dettori like?
Admittedly, I was part of a syndicate, had a quick chat with him, but he's a very bouncy, bubbly character.
He comes across very extravagant, doesn't he?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's probably one of the greatest jockeys of all time, if not. I'd say probably. If you're looking at straight numbers, probably not. But even this season, at the age of 49, he pretty much broke all records and 19 Group 1s or something. Yeah,
it was pretty mental.
Oh my God. So incredible. He's an incredible man, incredible sportsman. So, he's a very, very successful sports person. So you can imagine what he's like.
Definitely. Okay. I mean, going back to the Love Island, I think, like you said when we spoke before filming this, you are one of the most controversial Love Islanders due to the fact of your departure.
I'll take that and wear that cap proudly.
I mean, like you said, because of your departure, I mean, when you left the villa, obviously it came out before the episode aired on TV. It came out in the press that you'd left.
Yeah.
And whilst you were in there, unbeknown to you, the photos on your Instagram and on your social media of you with like game animals in Africa came out.
Yeah.
So obviously when you then left, people are there like, I think there was petitions and stuff to get you removed because of your association with trophy hunting. I mean,
brilliant.
What was the real reason for you leaving?
So the real reason, I swear on my grandmother's ashes, the real reason, and I said it 1,000 times over, you have no idea the best stories when you're in there. They literally, I turned around one morning and I thought, this isn't for me. I still love my current girlfriend.
Yeah.
He was Max at the time, and I need to go and win her back. And I think the longer I stay in there, the more it's going to damage my chances of doing that. So I turned around to the producer one morning and I went into the diary room and all the beach hut and I said, guys, I need to leave. And they were like, well, are you sure? And they said, they asked me, they gave me 24 hours. And then I came out, I definitely want to do that. I need to leave. And then they were like, right, cool. Well, you pack your bags and we'll organise for you to leave and doing it. And you can go and tell all the islanders why you want to leave.
Yeah.
And that'll be your exit and job done. So that was me. And I came out thinking, right, I'm going to be the big romantic dog and go home and sweep her off her feet. As soon as you come out, they give you a debrief of all the press you've been told about.
But that was long.
It wasn't, mate. It was pretty shockingly bad, to be honest with you, in terms of the way they delivered it. The psychologist delivered to me over FaceTime, which is the one criticism of the show I have.
Okay.
And that was the way they told me about these major stories. They just said, "Oh, there's a couple of stories about you hunting." I was like, "Right, okay." Going on to the hunting, I hunt and have proudly hunted and will continue to hunt my entire life.
Okay.
I first picked up a gun when I was about 4, and frankly, haven't put one down since.
Yeah.
So, most importantly, the photographs that came out were not those animals I did not shoot.
Right. Okay.
I'm not saying I haven't shot animals in Africa. I have, but as part of a very rigorous cull plan, whereby those animals had to be shot anyway. Like it wasn't I paid nothing to shoot them because I was being paid to do the job.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was in there. So these came out when I was actually with clients I was working with, and they'd shot them, and it was all their Ollies. And which, to be honest with you, I mean, if you're looking at them straight as a photograph, I can see why you think that because they're out of context. But context is key, and those animals were part of a cull plan. They needed to be shot. If that guy hadn't shot them, the profession would have come and done it anyway because there were too many animals in the area.
Okay.
And people saying, they're endangered, which is a load of bollocks. They might be listed as threatened across the world, but in the particular area I was working in Mozambique, they were too populous, therefore damaging their own population.
Yeah. Common sense science. The photos of you in Africa with the guns that came out obviously in the press, they were conservationist projects. You weren't obviously trophy hunting.
No, not a single one of those animals would take. If you know your trophies as well, they were crap trophies. You look at them. The trophy animals are double the size of that.
Yeah.
They were ill, not the best males, and they were needed to be taken out. So they were. In no point of that entire hunt was a trophy ever even looked at. It was look at the body weight, look at the condition. He's all right. He's the animal needs to go.
Okay.
So they shot that one. At no point was the head of an animal, the horns of an animal, ever even taken into account. Which is what trophy hunting is when you think that's a really good set of horns or set of antlers. Yeah, I'll take that one. That's a trophy.
Yeah. Okay.
And more importantly, not a single one of those animals' heads were taken away from the hunt, which again is what trophy is. You take the head, head goes on the wall above the mantelpiece or whatever. But again, that wasn't what happened in that situation. So I've never taken part in trophy hunting in Africa, which is the most important thing that I tried to sort of tell the press. Yeah, but, they're a bunch of. I'm not going to say what they are, but they're.
Okay, so obviously you leave the villa, like you said, and you got a debrief from the psychologist and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
What happens then? Did they fly you home?
Yeah, so I flew pretty much front of the plane that evening. Then I went and got back. There was about 250 people at the airport waiting for me.
Okay.
Like press, and God knows what else. So I went through the private terminal, the Royal Terminal at Heathrow, which is a pretty cool experience.
Okay.
And then I got in a private car. ITV then took a car off, which the press thought I was in. Right. And followed.
Okay.
And my dad's driver took me off to my hidden sort of bunker for the next 2 weeks, which was, well, it all died down, but and the press were just trying to find me basically for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
And they didn't know where I was. They nearly found me. Someone came to the door chasing another lead. They didn't realize how close they were to actually me.
Okay.
They were chasing something I was selling on eBay to do with Africa, and they were like, "Oh, he got delivered here once." And my aunt, who I was staying at, was basically like, "No," and she called my uncle down, who's a pretty big bloke, and as soon as he saw him, the journalist just ran away.
Yeah.
But okay, so obviously, how close he was to me.
Yeah. So obviously, you're back in the UK, like you said. You're on kind of like a lockdown, like we are now, to be fair, for a couple of weeks. What was your reaction when you saw all of it? Because I mean, you were literally front page news. Like You were
Yeah, front page of every newspaper for I think 4 days.
mental. Like, what's your reaction to that?
I just thought it was ridiculous, really. I mean, it was if this just sums up the tabloids, really, that their news is so bad. I mean, it was at one point it was me on the front page of the Metro, with me sort of gun showing.
Yeah.
Under one arm was Boris Johnson, Big Ben, and under the other arm was Meghan and Harry leaving the royal family. I was like, that is a bigger news story.
Mental.
Than fucking me.
Yeah, you were literally bigger news than the royals and the prime minister. Like, mental.
Oh my God, it felt like, I must admit, when I came out of the villa and they told me that, I did panic a bit. I was like, this feels like a fucking bad dream.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I've hunted in the past, but it's, it's all very black and white. What's the worst that can happen? So that was, and I sort of said that might come out, but it's just, at the end of the day, it's just blood sports. People are always going to whinge about that. So, and then when it came out and it was like, the Daily Star went in on it, the Sun really grounded in, and I was just like, fucking hell.
Yeah, so, pretty mental times.
And then Noah, obviously, my mate Noah, who was dealing with my Instagram, he was just having a fucking, can you imagine what he's getting
having a nightmare.
So, yeah, so that was fun and games, and but yeah, it all blew over. And
I mean, how did you deal with all of that negativity? Like, how were you feeling at the time? Were you like, at any time, were you like, fuck, this is like properly getting out of hand now, or did you think it will blow over?
I was mad, I didn't give a shit.
Really?
It's just, the thing is, like, if anyone's listening to this and they get in this, and they've had it where they've, people like, even professionals like Caroline Flack, bless her heart, she obviously took her own life because of it, and because of what the press were doing to her.
Yeah.
And even people think, oh, they won't get to her, but if you look at any other way, if someone walked up my driveway now, a random, you know, and started whatever, and I'd be like, "What?" He was like, "Who wears Ollie Williams?"
Yeah.
Like, who are you? I was like, "Oh, I just want to talk to him." Like, well, I'd set the dogs on him.
Yeah.
But if he was a journalist, somehow he has some sort of God-given right.
Yeah.
To follow people around, or the perhaps just because they have a camera in their hand. But if it's the other way around, if you take the camera away, she's a creepy stalker.
Yeah, literally.
That's
like you said with the whole Caroline thing. I mean, the press are obviously getting looked into a lot more now. I mean, what do you reckon what do you think they could do to stop the kind of negative press that people like yourself like experience? Like, it was just like you said, it was like a witch hunt against you.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm lucky enough that I'm obviously pretty strong-willed, and I just, I just laugh at it, and if anything, I'll go on the offensive. But anyone that's sort of in that sort of dark hole where there's just everything's, you look at your phone, it's just thousands of messages, and it's just, you just got to ignore it. The best thing I can say is just ignore it. Just don't even, just turn your phone off. At the end of the day, none of these people are going to do anything. They're just a bunch of absolute morons.
And like you said, I mean, I think in terms of advice for people who experience similar things, it's just to ignore them, like you said. Like,
I mean, there's no point reacting. There's no point going and saying it. But no, it's other than that, it's just not worth. It's not worth it. Your best bet is just to honestly just ignore it, and just try and not let it get to you. If you let it get to you, then it really can get to you, and you can see what can happen.
Definitely. So, okay, I mean, obviously, moving on. So you leave the villa, you come back. You're in the kind of isolation part for a couple of weeks, and then you go to your ex. What happened there then?
So actually, I rang her as I landed. My phone, first thing I did was rang her, and she was like, and my mum had already told her what had happened. Why? Because I told my mum why I'd come out.
Okay.
And because my mum even thought that I'd come out because of the stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of said, well, no, that's not the reason why. So as soon as I came out, I rang Laura, and she said, I'll meet you wherever you are back at the house.
Yeah.
So I was like, sweet. Well, that sounds positive. So we actually ended up watching my ex interview together, which obviously was quite romantic.
Yeah. I mean, were you slightly concerned at all that she'd be like? Obviously, it was a risk leaving the villa. I mean, were you slightly concerned she'd be like, I don't want to be with you?
Yeah, I mean, that was a risk. That would have been a bit of a nightmare, obviously. But but no, I was lucky enough that wasn't the case. And here we are.
And you're still together now. Are you living together at the moment, or?
Yeah, we moved in together.
Awesome.
So we moved in together in London. So very, very happily, living together. And we're now down in Cornwall, obviously for this quarantine, because I couldn't think anything worse than being stuck in a flat. But
yeah, right.
yeah, we're down here and just enjoying it. Well, enjoying it as best we can, I suppose. So she's been furloughed. So,
yeah. Okay. What did she do? What did she do for work?
She's a marketing consultant.
Okay. Cool. Perfect. Okay. Now, obviously, like we said there, I mean, it was a very controversial exit. So I've just got a few. We'll just go through a few questions that I've been sent from Instagram, Twitter, that kind of stuff, from some viewers. Who were you closest to in the villa?
If I say it's three boys I was closest to was Mike, Callum, and Connor.
Okay.
Those three. I couldn't really narrow down to one. I was just they were probably three really good blokes.
Perfect. Someone else has asked, who are you still in contact with from the show now? Whether that's people who came in after you or you were in there with?
Callum and Connor, and also Connor with a G. I never actually met him on the show, but we've had a few games of Warzone together. So.
Oh yeah, okay. Have you been on like many nights out with the boys at all?
I have not since because they've all been going out of Manchester.
Yeah,
a couple of invites, but it's a bit of a trek for me to get up there. So
yeah, they all seem to be based like Manchester way, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So no, it didn't. Not yet, but hoping to get one.
Plan in the future.
Yes, exactly. Definitely.
Okay. Someone else asked how much has your life changed since being on the show?
Certainly my work has changed. Obviously,
yeah.
Everything's now sort of based around my people that know who I am.
Yeah.
So there's social media or just getting sent stuff.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but yeah, it has changed. I get recognised. Going to the shop and Asda and stuff.
Yeah. But that's
people
weird.
People asked me for photos yesterday. I'm like, I can't have a photo with you because of social distancing. So I was like, you can take a photo of me, but I can't have a photo with you.
Yeah. Is it weird being? Weird being like recognised in the street and stuff?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, coming back, like I went out for a couple of nights in Truro and a couple of nights in London. And nights in Truro, mate, were just like completely crazy. Because,
yeah.
Like, as soon as one person recognises you, the place just like you just get mobbed.
Yeah. Actually, in the small clubs in Truro that Truro has to offer.
Yeah, there's a Fearos or whatever. Vanilla, God forbid.
Vanilla, yeah.
So,
I think I saw one news article that was like on Cornwall Live, and it was like Love Island Ollie Williams goes out in Truro, and it's like, well, yeah, he does live in Cornwall.
I know. That's Cornwall Live, utterly crap news. It just can't be even described as a newspaper, though, can it? So,
no.
There we are.
Okay. Someone else has asked. Obviously, you went to before your appearance on Love Island. You were obviously a uni graduate. You went to Royal Holloway.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
What did you study?
I went to study geology, but stopped doing that after about 3 months and started a new course. Started doing criminology. So I did criminology, and I did that for instead. So I caught up with that course over the 3 months I've missed, and then carried on and graduated in criminology. So
how did you find your uni days?
I loved it, mate.
Good fun.
Being honest, I solely went to university for the social.
Yeah, I actually had a night out in the SU in Royal Holloway. It's a good night.
Bloody awesome night. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's a lot of people. It sounds like proper shit, but it's just everybody knows everyone. And it's just like it's kind of like school, but with way more people and
just like a new level, isn't it, of like socialising and stuff.
Yeah, it was very, very good fun. And obviously, the rugby was good laugh there. I was social secretary and then first team captain in my third year. So, I had a good time. So, it was good fun.
Perfect. Someone else has asked, obviously, a lot of time to burn at the moment with this quarantine. Have you been binging any Netflix?
Yeah, so, mate, Love is Blind.
Yes, seen it. Very good.
Oh, brilliant. How good is that?
The concept is mental.
Absolutely mental.
I mean, is that something you'd ever do?
No.
It's pretty like it was when they got to the altar. It's when they got to the altar and said no. Like I was like that's savage, man. It's absolutely.
And she
savage.
ran away. She ran away like in the flower
and then she fell over.
Yeah.
Quality show.
Oh my god, that was.
What else have you been watching? Someone asked me if you've been watching Tiger King.
Yes, awesome. Loved it. Watched it. Joe Exotic, Carol fucking Baskin. No, man, that was funny. I feel sorry. To be honest, I do feel sorry for Joe because. You watch it. I watched another documentary with him, with Louis Theroux.
Yeah.
I watched that as well, and you can tell then he actually he does care about the animals.
Yeah.
But I think once he started selling cubs and the cub market got bigger and bigger in Vegas.
Yeah.
And the money was just crazy. You can imagine how much money he was making. I think he that just kind of blurred it. And I mean, when he's got only an X amount of land and he's got more tigers coming in and he's got an older tiger, and I'm sure he did go in and shoot a couple of tigers, which is against the law. I mean, but at the same time, I feel sorry for the bloke because he was pushed into a corner by a group of several very nasty people.
Yeah.
That generally didn't see, that had never had his best interests at heart, but they always pretend like they did. So that, I mean, Carol was just horrific. I mean, she killed her husband 100%. And he's buried under the septic tank.
There's so many like memes and stuff about that. Like,
but not just that, mate. I don't understand what she's going on about, because she has the same sort of park.
Yeah.
But she doesn't pay her zookeepers.
Yeah.
And the animals live in fucking awful conditions compared to Joe's place.
Yeah, I was watching it. Like, you could tell it was a bit hypocritical. Like, she is saying he's doing this, he's doing that, but she is basically just doing it. But is claiming that she gives them more land to roam around. Like, it's pretty mad.
Oh, mate, and then that bloke, what's it called? Jeff came in. He's a nasty, nasty piece of work.
Yeah, not a nice guy.
No, so God knows how he escaped jail time.
Yeah, mental.
But
yeah, it's a pretty mental series, isn't it?
Yeah, if anyone's not seen it, we've just ruined it for you. But spoiler alert. Maybe
spoiler. I'll put a spoiler alert in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Another kind of question was, in terms of, like you said, we're in the lockdown at the moment. You've got your own home gym and stuff. What kind of gym or fitness tips would you give to people that are trying to either get in shape or stay fit in this environment we're in at the moment?
You just got to crack on. I mean, I know you might not want to do it every day, but just try and get it done every day.
Yeah.
Just try and get half an hour cardio and half an hour of sort of muscular exercises done, and whether it be weights or just body weight, it just makes a massive difference. Your body will keep ticking over. Then you won't start piling anything on, but you might not gain progress, but you won't take any steps back.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the key. So.
Perfect. Someone else has asked, in terms of, it's like a foodie question. When you, like you said at the beginning, you miss eating out. Where do you kind of tend to go eating out? What kind of food are you into?
So I love one of my favourite places to go, there's like a brunch bars. There's a brunch bar in Sunningdale, just in Surrey. Probably my favourite place to go in the country.
Yeah.
It's called Fago Cafe.
Okay.
We always used to go there for Ascot, going to racing, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's probably my favourite place to go in terms of, it's expensive, but it's worth it. And then pub food? I love a gastro pub.
Yeah.
And that I will go to posh restaurants, but not as much as people might possibly think, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty chill when it comes to eating out.
So if you're having a night in, what's your takeaway choice?
Probably Chinese.
Okay.
Chinese, yeah. I'd say duck pancakes.
Duck pancakes, yeah. It's a good shout, to be fair. It's a good shout. Yeah. Someone else has asked, would you go on another reality show? So would you go on TV again?
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly, managers have been talking to Made in Chelsea a little bit.
Okay.
So that's very early days.
Little cameo appearance, maybe?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I'd be looking for something slightly bigger than a cameo, I think.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'd want to be on the show if anything. But
is that a potential project in the pipeline?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is probably, but nothing more than early days. Literally, a small conversation's been had. So
cool, perfect. I look forward to it. And obviously, you're in the public eye. A lot of people would make assumptions about you, but how would your closest friends describe you? What if you give me 3 words, the closest friendship group, how would they describe you?
Probably my close friendship group guys like Noah, George, Eddie.
Yeah.
Probably describes me as a knob.
So just as the media tried to portray you.
Yeah, exactly. The media have nailed it. Yeah.
They've got it spot on. They hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I mean, we've covered quite a lot. I feel like that could cover the main gist of the podcast. I mean, the only other thing I've got to do with you is a little challenge I'm going to set on each episode with each of my guests. Very, very simple concept. I mean, we're pretty limited due to the fact we can't leave our houses and this is online. So all the concept is you've got a pre-prepared pint of water, and all I'm going to do is literally time you, and you've got to chug the pint of water in the fastest time possible.
All right.
I will then create a leaderboard of my guests for the podcast. And after, I think we're going to do the first 10 episodes. After the first 10 episodes, whoever has the fastest time will win a pint glass with the Reality Check podcast logo on.
Okay, cool.
Cool, perfect. So I will start the timer on my phone. What you got to do then, you've got to finish the pint and then say the word done. And when you say done, I will stop the timer.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Done.
Oh, that's very quick. 5.95 seconds. That's very quick.
Done. It was the done that I had to spot.
That's what I mean, though. You've got to get the swallow down. Perfect, mate.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for featuring on my podcast today, mate. Like I said, it's the first episode, so hopefully we'll get a big launch. Obviously, I'll leave a link to Ollie's Instagram and his other socials in the description. But yeah, thank you very much, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No worries, mate. Good luck with the podcast. Pleasure.
Cheers, buddy. Speak to you soon.
Cheers, pal.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.